welcome. Here is a few dynamic warm-up stretches that you can do prior to any game, match, or contest. Taking your racket, lengthening all the way up, doing a nice easy side stretch. So the idea is to lengthen the spine, begin to activate the core, and release. Trying this 2 or 3 more times, lengthening, stretching up and over. One more time. You can flip the head of the racket if you wish to stay balanced. Starting on the other side this time. And that should be your opening move. Second movement pattern. The racket can be used as a balancing tool if you need dynamic leg swing. So pick a leg, draw those toes up, and begin to swing the leg dynamically, limbering up the hamstring, loosening up the hip flexor. Arms can counterbalance, or the racket can be used as a balancing tool. And then switching sides. Once again, using that racket if you wish, engaging the core, and then lift up those toes so as not to scuff the sneaker, and begin to swing arms and legs. Beyond your range of motion, torso upright, and rest. Next movement pattern. The racket could be a balancing tool. You're going to be working now east and west, or a little lateral motion, swinging that hip into abduction, adduction, starting the little rotation of the torso. You may start to see a little racket swing in this motion. And switching sides, maybe even the racket, lifting up, and once again, counterbalancing. So those limbs moving in opposition will help you stay upright. We're hitting all aspects of core training here, dynamic warm-up, some balance training, and some movement-specific skill set playing tennis. Legs coming out wide, toes and knees moving in the direction that your body's going in. The idea is to lengthen the leg and draw up on that quadricep. If you're taking care of any low back issues, torso can get nice and tall, or you can get a little bit lower to the ground. All the while breathing. And stand tall. Toes will turn out, and we'll start to lift and lower, warming up inner thighs and groin. So the idea is to plug those heels in and move in a place where you start to feel a little stretch and a little activation, working on balance between right and left leg. Arms can work in opposition to tax the core. For 4, 3, 2, and 1. You can release the racket, or you can grab onto it, your choice. We're going to now move up to the chest. Taking the elbows, bent position. This is called dynamic chest opener. So you're in your athletic ready legs, torso tall, and the idea is to squeeze the upper back, maybe even flare the fingerprint and the fingertips opposite of your racket, and dynamically open up the chest. If you're taking care of shoulder issues, your movement will be a tad smaller. And rest. Coming into your lunge, the racket can be done once again and used as a balancing tool, sliding a leg straight back. 2 feet will be on like railroad track settings, and you're lengthening and lifting. If you're looking for a little more challenge, you can step that leg back, and it's called your diagonal curtsy lunge. Idea is to begin to warm up the hips, and of course, other side. Find your lunge. That back heel will come up, torso tall, and moving once again in your training zone, feeling a mild stretch, a little bit of a challenge, opposite option, a little diagonal. Breathing, heart rate will go up, body temperature starting to elevate, heart rate up, and our final little dynamic movement, grabbing the racket, torso twist. Noticing I'm offloading or pivoting, picking up my footprint, catching air underneath my sneakers for a little twist. Spinning from the thoracic spine, You can keep your neck and low back out of it, or you're welcome to swing and challenge your balance for 4, 3, 2, 1. Our last movement, stretching out the low back. Any type of skill-specific movement, jogging, walking, compresses the spine. So a nice release to the low back by arching and flattening. Trying 4 more. And slowly roll all the way up. That should be your dynamic warm-up. So welcome back. We're going to now work on agility, balance, and coordination. So as you start, you're welcome to lengthen out the upper arm bone and begin a little cactus motion. If you're taking care of shoulders, you can go super slow. The idea is to have a goalpost or scarecrow looking arm and working internal, external rotation. You can challenge by doing a little alternating movement. And you can also lengthen those arms out, almost like you're simulating opening up an old style doorknob, wringing out those shoulders. So shoulder care, imperative for the game of tennis. For 4, 3, 2, and rest. Our first agility move, meaning being able to stop and start and changing directions quickly, is called the clockwork. You're going to step your right leg forward, get down into your lunge. Your left leg is going to tell time at 12 o'clock, 10 o'clock, maybe 9 o'clock, and then step back blindsided again. So the idea really isn't so much the leg in motion, it is the standing single leg squat. And these are preparing you for your sport-specific skill steps on the tennis court. Of course, you can speed this up. You can add more time, hit more numbers on the clock, and rest. Second leg. You're going to lunge, sit down, and find your new leg, telling time, and you're shifting weight. So coming up through 12 o'clock, maybe 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock, 4:30, and getting those arms to pump. Driving those elbows back, opening up the chest. The idea is to sit in this anchored leg. That's where your challenge comes from. And we'll do 2 more to balance out. Chest tall, gaze out. It's like you're looking at your opponent, preparing for your match. Done. Balance. You're going to be using a ball. It's going to be a simulated fly swat or old style fly swatter. You're going to pick your leg, attempt to balance. And the idea is pretend this ball is a fly swatter and you're going to start to swat flies anywhere, wherever they are. Above the head, down by the ankles. And the idea is you're going to swing and swat that fly like you're really trying to get rid of that pesky mosquito, or I think down here they're called no-see-ums. And of course, other side. One side may be a little bit more favorable to work. So take your time, but the idea is to stay upright and try to throw yourself off. And if you notice shoulder head getting a great movement pattern and swat that fly, done. Coordination, our last movement, hand-eye coordination. Maybe tossing the ball and catching it. 1 hand, 2 hands. You most certainly can walk or jog in place. You can toss and catch both hands. You can toss and add a clap. You can add 2 claps. How about 3 claps? 1, 2, 3. And of course you can add a turn, preferably a 360, not a 180. And last movement pattern. Slide that ball down the elbow. Pop it like you are a gumball machine. Slide down to the elbow. Catch and toss. And of course we do everything bilateral. Both sides. Slide, pop it off your elbow. Try to catch it. Hand-eye coordination. 1, done.